Hello everyone, and welcome back to another The Most Forbidden Love in the World video. Last time, Mitoko realized that Osamu got her a ring and found out too late, and Osamu kissed Asami. Unfortunately, it wasn't Himeo, but you know what? It is what it is. But anyways, let's continue on with Osamu's little... I don't even know what to say anymore. Okay, load. Alright. Alright, I don't even know what happened last time. Can I backlog here? I wonder if I can... Here, no, okay, so this is what happened. Yeah, all that. And then we got into a little intermission, a whole new chapter and everything. Okay. Excuse me? I like a fortune slip, a protective arrow, a Dorama doll, a prayer plaque, and a charm. Please make sure to pick up the ones with the most power in them. Oh shit, he's shouting? Oh, I can't yell at this time. Now's hardly the time to be worrying about that. Listen, you have to keep drawing fortune slips until you get a lucky one. But if it's for stuff other than your studies, just keep drawing. Oh God, oh Buddha, oh Jesus Christ. I implore you all, let Toko get into Suisen preparatory. You can't fail all of the other candidates. Toko is far more worthy and has done way more than any of them. She's on another level, a level on her own. If you won't grant me this one wish, I shall rise from the depths of hell to seek vengeance. I leave everything in your hands. Time for the offering. Here you go. 10. No, 5,000. Oh, Samu. Alright. Sorry, I think the crowds might have gotten him partially to blame. I didn't even remember half the things I suddenly did. You're not too different during insults yourself. At least try to temper the domestic violence. Although she continued to berate me, Toko's right hand was firmly grasping my left. Our joined hands initially felt cold with no gloves on, but eventually they began to steadily regain their warmth. Really? It probably wouldn't been a bad idea to tell her I was hoping to conquer every temple in the vicinity during the first 3 days of the year. Oh no. But all I can do is pray at this point. I mean, you're the one who has to actually take the exam. If I could fit into your uniform, sure. I would have loved nothing more than to sit in those exams in her place. After all, over the past few months, I kind of refreshed my memory on everything there was to learn at school. I feel like I could easily make it into the most prestigious school around. Not like I could attend one at my age. I know that much. I'm doing this more for my own self-satisfaction than anything else. Anyway, just turn a blind eye to it for now, okay? Overdo things? How exactly? Toko cast her gaze downwards, preventing me from making out her facial expression. Toko? Oh, it's nothing. I'm sorry. I've certainly been acting a bit strange lately. An inexplicable anxiety would assault me whenever I find myself unable to read Toko's expression. I felt as though she was about to disappear somewhere far away beyond my reach, although that very thought was likely a bit arrogant on my part in the first place. Toko did not belong to me. She was a proper adult at heart who managed her life far better than me. But the fact remained that I viewed her as someone important, someone I wanted to protect, even if it was mostly for my own self-satisfaction. No one else in the world meant... okay, straight, I forgot what that once was. Square, OSA underscore 5021 square. Yeah. But by the way, how are your practice exams? Shaking off those worries for the time being, I've forced myself back into the same laid-back mood as usual. Falling into that spiral would only leave me unable to rein in my emotions, just like before. You know, the exams they made you take at the beginning of the winter break? The one that cost us 3,000 yen even though participation was mandatory? And if that happened, I might end up depending on her again. Well, end up might have been a bit too much of an irresponsible word. I feel the urge to indulge in her kindness again, basically. It's the final practice exam before the real thing. Hope you can get an A on those. Would do wonders for your confidence, I think. Alright, now we're in front of the house. Yeah. Toko let out a sigh, seemingly lamenting the fact that we had arrived. She then turned her back to me, once again filling my heart with that inexplicable anxiety. So... Toko, would you like to watch the stars for a bit? I made her face me again, even if I did so a bit forcefully. I'm the one inviting you, so what do you think? We could, count it as a science lesson? I didn't want us to part just yet. I didn't want to go to bed with my heart shivering from insecurity. But you're not cold, are you? Want me to come inside? What's going on? Why is he asking if he can come inside? Wait, what the hell happened? I unbuttoned my cloak and opened one of its sides. Toko, understanding the cue, drew closer. I closed the coat again, and now we were warm together, covered by a single coat under the starlit sky. Oh, okay, they meant the coat. I thought inside the house. Okay, that makes more sense now. Oh, that's a pretty CG. Me too. Toko began to relax and leaned against me with all her weight. Her tiny, light frame seemed to be burning up with heat, making me question whether or not she really was as cold as she had claimed. Yeah. Yeah. And so, forgetting our initial promise, we absent-mindedly gazed at the stars without discussing any names, locations, or constellations. I could feel the heat from Toko's back near my stomach. We were 45 centimeters apart in height. Her back leaned against my belly, her shoulders were at the height of my elbow, and her head just barely reached up to my chest. It was entirely possible she could hear the rapid beating of my heart. I really couldn't forget out what was going on with me lately. Figure out, I think. Yeah? This again? I've already told you, it wasn't anything special. That had always been the plan. Did she overhear what we were talking about on the phone? was happy when you invited me. You refused so many times during Christmas, I think I might have been traumatized a little. She's tearing up. I wasn't complaining. I'm sorry. I guess it did kind of sound that way. Toko's voice began to tremble. The same anxiety I'd been tormented by appeared to have gripped Toko's heart, too. At times, she sounded on the verge of crying. Hearing that only fueled my anxiety further, making the chains of negativity binding us even harder to cast off. I'm just going to repeat myself here, but your happiness is currently my #1 priority in life. So when you say I'm going too far at my own expense, it just makes me sad and wish you would trust me more. Eh? I was expecting Toko to cheekily retort that there was no way she could trust a guy who kept getting laid off. That's... Toko. Toko showed no intention of switching subjects and was adamant on demanding an answer. Well, as long as it's within my power. I desperately wanted to give her the reply she wanted, but I wasn't sure what it was. All I could do was blur out a cowardly, ambiguous response. What are you gonna ask for, Minako? What's it gonna be? But Toko wouldn't allow me to escape. She kept the pressure going. Yes, you're selfish. Then you should be yourself. You can be more selfish. Back when Miss Hanako was still around, Toko worked herself to the bone just to survive. Even after her mother left, she kept pressing on. She always had to suppress herself to survive, yet she still grew up to be a kind and well-mannered girl. Others might have failed to grant her the environment to unveil her selfishness, but I... Toko? I felt her tiny shoulders trembling under my arms. With her back pressing against my belly and head hung down, Toko likely wanted to prevent me from seeing her expression. Everyone has done something they've regretted. At least I know I have. To the point I even lost count. You have been enduring all your life. You're simply too hard on yourself. That's all. I wasn't sure what she was trying to say. I didn't know what she wanted or whom it belonged to, or even why she couldn't have it in the first place. I was drawing a complete blank. That's complete nonsense. And so all I could do now was pray that Toko wouldn't notice the ceaseless beating of my heart. But I knew that was a vain hope at best. Just come out and say it, Minako. Just come out what you want. I know who you want, all for yourself. And he's quite literally standing right behind you. After all, not only did I hear Toko's heart racing, I could feel her trembling under my coat. Just say it, Minako, please. Toko. I tightened my embrace around her. Was I driven by parental worry? The empathy of a close friend? Or perhaps... Is it about to go down? I could no longer make sense of anything. What was this? Lately, I felt as though Toko was becoming more and more beautiful with each passing day. Uh-huh. She was an attractive girl to begin with, but the Toko before me now had learned to make an expression that burned with passion, was laced with fickle melancholy, and exuded an uncannily bewitching air. And it wasn't just her face. I could sense it in her voice, her breathing, even her scent. All of it was trying to lure me into a sweet trap. Is she gonna do it right here? Okay. Thanks. I hope this year will be fun as the last one. I was hoping she was gonna confess right there, but I guess not. I guess we got like 10 more hours of this. I could no longer think straight. Dot. Oh.
じゃあ行ってきまーす。
Oh no, it's a Yoshi.
お関、
Get out of here, Suyoshi.
おはよ
Why are they awkward now?
おはよう。広さが。
What happened between y'all? The sad music's playing. Ooh. And they're quiet to each other. Ooh.
推薦決まった。北洋南。昨日河野先生から連絡あってさ、これで一足先に受験地獄から解放。あとは卒業式を待つばかりってな。
おめでとう、大関。よかったね。あんたの努力実ったじゃん。
春休みになったらすぐに練習に参加するから、そろそろトレーニング再開しないとな。
ほんとすごいよ。試合は1回しか見てないけど、なんとなくすごいかもってのは分かってるから。
そんなわけで勉強会も解散だ。今までありがとうな、日野坂。ここ2月ばかりほんと楽しかったし勉強になった。実はさ、年末の統一テスト結構自信あんだよ。もしかしたら自己ベスト更新できるかも。
What's going on with you, Miyako? What's with that face?
以上。じゃあ俺先に行くわ、日野坂。今日から走って投稿することに決めたから。お前も特待試験もうすぐだよな。今の俺が言うと嫌味かもしんないけど、頑張れな。おっしゃー。ほんじゃ気合い入れて。
待って、大関。
いや、ほら自主トレを。
ダメ、ちゃんと話をするために待ってたんだから。このままうやむやにするのはダメだ。
だから俺は別にいいって。
はっきり言わなくちゃダメだ。
俺としてははっきり言われる方が答えるんだけど。
でも私自分勝手なんだ。人の気持ちが考えられない悪い意味でのお子様なんだ。だからごめん、はっきり言う。私好きなやつがいるから付き合えない。
Yeah, poor Suyoshi.
本当は泣きながらじゃなきゃいけないんだっけ？でも泣く方はこの前散々やってみせたよね。
But you know, I also don't really feel that bad for Tsuyoshi because he was kind of being a little forceful in this for her to get with him and then automatically wanted a first kiss and all that. So I'm like, they haven't even gone on a date and he's already here asking for kisses now.
日野坂。
大関には本当にひどいことした。その人のことずっと好きだったのに、心が辛くなった時何度もあんたに頼っちゃったりした。
いや、俺は恋気づいてたし。
So you were aware that Mirako was in love with another person, yet you were also aware that she came to you for consolation, yet You took advantage of that situation and wanted her to kiss you? I don't know. So Yoshi, you just stop talking. You're starting to piss me off.
なのにあんた、私の思い気づかせてくれた。
俺もバカだったってあの後思い知ったけどな。
感謝してる。あだでしか返せないけどね。
もういいよ、日の坂。
本当によかった。あんたが推薦受かってて、私たちの初めての大事な時期に
ひどいことになってんのはお前の方だろ。大丈夫なのか、特待試験。
わかんない。ここ最近勉強全然手につかないから。
おいおいおい。
でもこれも私のせいだもん。卒業までは受験に専念しておけばよかったのに、早めに諦めようとしてかえってドツボにはまってさ。
ああ、Rinko。
来週だろお前の試験。なんとか切り替えろよ。
無理じゃないかな。はあ、タイミング悪。
戦う前から諦めてんじゃねえよ。
しょうがないじゃん。私の心手先ほど器用じゃないもん。
なら入試前に決着つけろよ。少なくとも相手に気持ちだけは伝えとけ。
そんなことしたら彼すっごく苦しむよ。
You're giving him hints, Mirako. You're giving him hints of who you love.
他に好きな人だっているのに。
Mirako, no, I do. Osamu doesn't love Asami. Don't believe that scene.
自分勝手なんだろ。相手の都合なんかお構いなしなんだろ。それとも何か好きな男のためだったら自分の気持ちを抑えられるのか。そりゃまた本当に自分勝手だなお前。なんだよ。
あんたって実はすっごい優しいね。
He's not Mirako. Don't ever say that.
だからリストラされました、日の坂に。
ごめん。
あ、いや、それネタだから。お互い苦笑いするところだから。
Alright, we're at school now. And there's
絶好ね。
goddamn Rinko. What? Just like that, Rinko? You fucking bitch.
私さ、こうなっちゃったの。自分の責任もかなりあるって分かってる。
Why are you not her friend, Rinko? Explain yourself.
そんなことないって。
そんなことある。どこがいけない恋してるから目を覚まさせたくて、先生や尾関やあんたをけしかけたんだから。
そうだったんだ。
先生と旦那さんが元通りになるか、どこと尾関がいい雰囲気になるか、ならなくてもあんたが今の恋を諦めてくれればって。
心配かけちゃってたんだね、リンコにも。
だって最近のとこすっごい辛そうだったし、だからって後押しなんかできるわけないし、だったら邪魔するしかないじゃない。
そんなにダメかな、私の恋って。
冷静に考えてみなよ。あんた今いくつなのよ。相手もう30だよ。
Was he in his 30s? I thought he was like 28, no?
29だよ。まだ20代だよ。
29. Okay, well, yeah, let's just say that's 30.
先生の元旦那さんだよ。先生だって未練ありありなんだよ。
だったらなんで別れたりするかな。私だったら好きなら絶対に離れたりしない。
旦那さんだってきっとまだ先生のこと思ってる。近くで見てたとこが一番よく分かってるよね。
それでも私を一番大事にするって、ずっと守ってくれるって言ってくれたもん。
そんなの親代わりとしてでしょ。恋人になりたいなんて言ったら苦しむよ、あの人。
そんなの告白してみなくちゃ分かんない。
尾関はどうなの？あいつ本気だったんだよ。本気で。
いいやつだし、甘えてたし、悪いって思ってる。だけど私が好きなのは修くんだけだもん。
Oh, she fucking slapped her? You goddamn bitch, Rinko. You can't make her like fucking Tsuyoshi. Look, now you're making her cry. Fucking bitch.
とりあえずさ、 私の責任もいろいろあるんだけどさ。
Partially, nah, you're completely to blame for this, Rinko. You're over here scheming behind poor. I forgot what her name was, Musuba or Musuyoshi, the other female friend. She knows damn well how much she likes Yoshi. Yeah, she's over here trying to play, Cupid and trying to get Tsuyoshi with Miyako. She should be doing the other, Mitsuba and Tsuyoshi. But okay, let's continue.
リンコ、
それでもどこが尾関にした仕打ちを許すつもりはないから。
What do you mean? No, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it.
そうだね。私も許されるべきじゃないと思う。
いい加減目を覚ましなよ、トコ。
目覚めたよ。だから私嘘つくのやめたんじゃん。
もしあんたの思いが届いたとしてもさ、あんた以外誰も幸せにはならないんだよ。
かもね。
先生も尾関も先生の旦那さんだってみんなあんたのわがままに巻き込まれて辛い思いをするんだよ。
尾関にはリンコからも謝っといてね。本当悪かったって。
ねえ、やめようよ。そんなダメな恋なんて誰も応援しないよ。
I want to go on a rant so bad, but I'm not gonna get into
応
that.
援なんていらない。一人で頑張るの慣れてるもん。
トコ、
もういいかな。そろそろ職員室行かないと。河野先生に呼ばれててさ、冬休み明け初日から妙に忙しいね、私。
そう、
ごめんね、リンコ。
謝らなくていい。だって私とトコは今絶好状態なんだから。
本当にごめん。泣くの私、自分の選んだ道じゃんか。
Fuck you, Rinko. That's all I'm gonna say about. That's all I'm gonna say about that situation. Fuck her.
今回の結果が
And you two are
入試に影響あるかっていうそんなことはない。
I didn't mean that, but I still would have chosen Himeo.
これは業者の模擬試験だし、内申点には影響ないし、それにあなたの場合一般入試よりもかなり前だから受験校にこの結果が行くことはない。
そっか、よかった。
よくないわよ。入試もう来週なのよ。どうしちゃったのよ一体。5教科で総合280点、平均56点、校内202点。しかも私の数学がよりにもよって
16点か。ちゃんと正解あったんだ。全部当てずっぽうだったのに。
もしかしてわざと？
だったらかっこいいよね。
みとこちゃん、
ちゃんと真面目にやったよ。これが今の私の実力なんだよ。
そんなわけないでしょ。あなた前の時455点取ったのよ。校内2位だったのよ。
Okay, so she's second in the school, yet for some reason she jumped down all the way to 202. Huh.
そんなこともあったね。
あったってね。2月前よ。
そっか。
ねえみとこちゃん、一体何があったの？あなたあれだけ頑張ってたじゃない。絶対に特待で終戦大夫行くんだって。
何って。
おさむだって姫おさんだって一生懸命勉強を見てくれてたじゃない。今でも家庭教師続いてるんでしょ。
まあね。
こんな結果持って帰ったら2人ともパニックよ。おさむなんて熱出して寝込んじゃうかも。
That's true.
私からはとても教えられないわよ。
私から言うからいいよ。先生は別におさむくんに会わなくていいよ。
ああ、ごめんなさい。生徒を責めてどうするのよ私。今一番ショックなのはみとこちゃんだっていうのに。
そうでもないよ。試験終わった時にこんなもんだろうなって思ってたから。
どうして？本当に何も心当たりがないの？それとも私には言えないこと？
話してもいいけどさ。
But
なら話して。 私あなたとは教師と生徒だけなんて思ってない。それにこの前の恩もまだ返せてないし。
私先生に恩なんか売った覚えはないけどな。
一月も世話になったじゃない。テラスハウス日の坂に。
True.
あれは修くんが勝手にしたことだし、貸してる部屋に何人で住もうと大家としては何も言わないよ。
それだけじゃない。修が治るまでの間ずっと食事の面倒を見てくれたし。
私は修くんさえ望めば何だってしてあげたいって思ってるよ。
みとこちゃん。
だからさ、私の話の前に先生に教えてもらいたいこと。
Alright, what are you gonna ask her, Minako?
何？
先生さ、あの日クリスマスイブの夜、修くんと何か。
I don't think you want to know, Minako. Here she is, 5 minutes earlier than the time we agreed upon. She waited for me patiently and without fidgeting around, just like on Christmas Day. Asami, sorry for having kept you waiting.
修？
Asami was once again wearing unusually high heels just to match my own height. She must have changed into them on her way here. She had her usual suit on, but despite coming here straight from work, her makeup seemed to be freshly done. And as soon as I realized all the extra trouble she went through just to meet me. No, wait. Okay. Realized. Sorry, just for a little bit. Much like last time, I was overcome by the urge to hold her close, to feel her presence.
修、もうみんな見てるわよ。
I'll let you go in a second. It's just for a little while. Asami's hair was right below my nose. I pulled her head to my chest and closed my eyes before taking a slow, deep breath to inhale her sweet fragrance. Phew. It's your smell.
修。
Osamu, stop being weird. It's really you. Your smell hasn't changed at all.
いつもそんな風にしないと落ち着けなくなっちゃったの？一体どんな辛く厳しい毎日を送ってるのよ。修？
I spent almost 2 months away from work. It's not easy getting back into the same old rhythm.
本当にそれが理由なの？
What else could there be?
他に悩みがあるんじゃないの？もっと大きくて深い。
Asami. I think it's about time we had dinner. We went pretty extravagant last time, so I hope you're fine with Shinazuraya today. As I pulled myself away, I saw Asami looking at me with somewhat hazy eyes. Her gaze seemed both knowing and accusatory and was honestly making me somewhat uncomfortable. I mean, the mock examination she had at the end of the year, you have the results already, right? Toko said they'll be announced as soon as winter break was over.
あれね、あれ。そうね。
What did she do? Last time she was only 2 points away from first place, so I was hoping that maybe this time we'll...
あなたが受けるわけじゃないでしょ？
Well, yeah, but it's way more important than me taking the top spot.
そう。
What's wrong? You mean she's not number 1 then?
そうじゃなくて。ごめん、私まだ結果見てないの。始業式終わった後、すぐ職員会議が始まっちゃって。
Wouldn't that be the first thing you'll check? I mean, you're responsible for a third year class.
そうよね。本当だじ。これだから2年目の若造は。
Well, you might have only been there for 2 years, but you're not as young as...
その方向での方には、お互いを深く傷つけ合うから自重しときなさい、おさむ。
Okay. I guess I shouldn't have been taking it out on her.
だから、みとこちゃん、冬休みの間どうしてた？年末にアパート出てっちゃったから様子がわからなくて。
Toko. About that. I don't think she did anything out of the ordinary. We visited some temples at the beginning of the year, ate New Year dishes together. We postponed all the gifts until my payday though.
そう
Didn't you meet her today? Wasn't she acting normal? I was pretty sure Toko wasn't acting that strange. She would occasionally make some fairly confusing facial expressions, but that was about it.
いつも通り
I think so? Aside from some damage to my nerves, the holiday went by without any incident of note. In other words, it was normal. I spent so much time with her over the past few days that the Christmas Eve I had with Asami started to feel almost like a distant dream.
彼女ちゃんと笑ってる
Well, she still spends more time being angry with me.
冬休みの間もおさむには優しかった
We spent most of the holiday lazing around, watching TV in her room, and snacking on leftovers from New Year. One time I nodded off in her room after having a couple beers and only woke up the next day because Himeo kicked me awake when she came over, almost like I was some soccer ball.
ずっと一緒だったの
Of course, I mean, it was our first New Year's Eve together. But Toko simply laughed off all of Himeo's complaints and spent the remainder of the day with me. Spending that much time with Toko revealed a new side of her as a little troublemaker. She would tickle my feet and try wrestling maneuvers on me whenever I let my guard down. Depending on one's interpretation, these could have been seen as desperate attempts to keep me in her room, although that was probably just me reading too much into things. It was exhausting, but these 3 days were nothing if not fulfilling. I don't think I've ever had this much fun during New Year's.
生まれて初めて
Oh, she's getting jealous. I mean, we would have spent the holidays in peace and quiet otherwise. It was both fun and exhausting, which would explain why I had trouble sleeping during that period. And also why I felt like my heart could burst open unless I met Asami and breathed in her relaxing fragrance.
何のつもりよ
Oh, she's getting jealous. Look at that comment. Asami?
ワイン頼んでいい
Oh, now she wants to get drunk. Okay, I see you. Eh? Asami gulped down the wine she still had in her half-empty glass before pushing the order button.
なんでそんなプライベートなことあなたに話さないといけないの
私とは教師と生徒だけなんて思ってないんじゃなかったっけ？
みとこちゃん
プライベートでも何から何まで世話になったってたった今言ったばかりだよね。
What did Minako ask for?
どうしたのよ一体だいたいクリスマスだってあなたが行かないって言うから
そうだよ。私が譲ったんだ。あの日、先生に修くんあげちゃったんだ。
Mm-hmm.
だったらさ、聞かせてくれてもいいじゃん。私、先生にどのくらい負けてるのか知りたい。
そんなこと知ってどうするつもり
どうするつもりか知ってどうするつもり
そんな子供みたいにふざけないで
Oh man, Asami, you're competing with literal almost high school graduate here.
私子供だもん。だから負けなんか認めないもん。
みとこちゃんあなた
Asami's finally figured it out.
全言撤回する。娘でなんかいてやるもんか。私、修くんのこと
Oh no.
諦めるの諦める。もう遅いかもしれない。先生と修くん、多分もう仲直りしちゃったよね。きっと
それは
それでもまだ諦めないことにした。二人が少しだけ仲直りしてたら一生懸命頑張る。二人がとっても仲直りしてたらどんな手を使ってでも頑張る。
あなた自分が何を言ってるか分かってるの入試1週間前にこんな
受験に失敗したって修くんが面倒見てくれるもん。私には修くんがいるんだもん。
Oh no.
そんなのめちゃくちゃよおさむが何のために今まで頑張ってきたのか分かってるの
先生に言われたくないよ。一度は修くん捨てたくせに。
あれは
She doesn't have a comeback for that.
先生卑怯じゃん。何の障害もなく修くんに愛されて、なのに別れて、でもまだ修くんに思われてて。
それが子供の考えだって言うのよ。何にも分かってないくせに。
That's crazy. So she basically like declared to Asami that she's not gonna give up on Osamu right then and there.
何にも分かってないくせにさ。
How's Asami gonna handle this though? Is she gonna do something to Osamu right here, right now? Hello? Miss Asami? That bottle didn't last us even 5 minutes.
ああ、もう一本いいかな。すいません。
If you want a drink, let's find another place. Okay? I doubted that anyone, not the staff or the other guests, had any experience dealing with a drunk customer in this establishment.
なんで私がさ、あんなこと。
Oh, she's getting angry. Getting angered by things that happened in the past was exceedingly difficult to deal with. What happened at school today? Did something upset you?
言えるわけないでしょ。それも計算のうちか、あっちは。
She?
言えるわけないって言ってるでしょ。男のくせにしつこいわね。
I'm sorry. I wanted to leave as soon as possible. I could feel the piercing gaze of the staff and the dining families on my skin.
はあ、でもな、あっちの気持ちもわからないでもない。
What was up with her today? I had known her for years, but I'd probably never seen her openly display this much anger towards someone.
だけどさ、こっちがこうなっちゃったの。あっちのせいじゃない。
She wasn't even this upset during our divorce.
ちょっと違うか。あっちのおかげだった。おかげでこんなにややこしくなっちゃったけど。
If anything, Asami had a very reserved demeanor when it came to things like this. She would usually just smile apologetically and not be the one getting emotional. Even during our divorce? Asami, is it...
何よ。
Oh... Did something happen with that man? The one who proposed to you? So if she got this emotional, then could it have been something marriage related?
ああ。
Seems like I was off the mark. Still, that appeared to have quelled her anger, for now at least.
別に大外れでもないわよ。さっきあなたと会う前にきっちり話をつけてきたし。
What? I almost missed it because of how nonchalantly she said it after that fit of anger, but that was by no means a small issue. A problem that had been put on hold for 2 months. A marriage proposal from someone 3 years her from someone 3 years her junior, one that Asami gave no answer to, even during the period she was nursing me back to health. A huge turning point in her life that she's cheerfully bragged about before. Damn, I was starting to get worked up myself. So,
何が？
your answer? How did you answer him?
すいません。ワインボトルでもう一
Oh
本。
my, no, we can't drink here, Asami. I gotta go to another bar, man. We can drink that after we finish our conversation, okay?
そんなに気になるわ
Of course it does. How could it not?
け？なんで？
What do you mean, why? I mean, is that something you really need to ask?
と言いつつ、はっきり答えないのがおさむ式よね。
It wasn't just because we used to be married. Sure, I might have been letting it get to my head, but I thought our relationship was starting to return to how it used to be. As such, her decision carried enough weight to have profound effect on my life as well. You can tell me that much, can't you? But I was still too much of a chicken to tell her any of this.
おさむ。
Asami.
あなたの飲み残しのビールもらうわね。
This damn drunk. Wait, you shouldn't drink any. Hey, Asami? I was a prime fool to fall for that.
断られた。
He turned you down? How? Huh? Are we gonna see the flashback now? How did he turn her down?
次の店いつになったら着くのよ。
Now she's fully drunk. We're almost there. Almost there. After I successfully dragged the extremely drunk Asami out of Shanazeremiya or Ria, we began wandering the dark and cold streets together. Letting her drink anymore felt like a bad idea, so I tried to pick the roads with the least amount of bars and pubs along the way.
スナックメッケ。ほら、おさむ行くわよ。あのビル5階だった。
No, that place is no good. They don't have an elevator, so if you're gonna get sick climbing the stairs,
嘘言っちゃ困るな。ちゃんとエレベーターあるよ、お兄さん。
You're not helping, Barker. Don't bother us right now. Jeez, you couldn't let your guard down for a second in this town. Look, Asami, let's go home. You're just exhausted because this was your first day at work after a long break. She sure finished that bottle lightning fast though.
何よ、気使っておさむらしくない。人の気持ちが全然わからなくて、墓穴掘ってこそあなたじゃない。
Hey, there's really no need to paint such a depressing image of me. I wondered how much of her remark was a joke.
大丈夫よ。全然落ち込んでないから。27バツイチ女が振られたくらいでショック受けてられますか？
As a man, apparently unable to understand the feelings of others, I had no idea whether or not she was really this affected by that incident. But from the perspective of someone who only had one beer today, okay, I understand. Come on, let's go this way, towards the station.
何がおかしいのよ。
Nothing. Damn, I must have let it show down my face.
もういいの。いいんだから。私はもう誰とも結婚しないし。
Don't say that, Sami. Why?
何が悲しいのよ。
Never mind. It seemed like I let this show on my face too. What?
あなたって最低だな。
Now Osamu's the worst? Please stop making things up on the spot.
大丈夫よ。すぐにあなたは今の言葉を自分で口走ることになるから。そうね。1週間以内に。
Well, that's one unsettling prophecy.
ああ、おさむもとうとう犯罪者か。別れといて正解だったのかな。
Look, this is making less sense than Nostradamus, okay? Asami was really acting strange today. She kept getting angry over everything, almost like a certain someone with a short temper. Who could have been the target of that anger? Me? The younger coworker? Or someone else entirely? Asami?
何よ。
I'm glad you managed to avoid getting caught up with a blind idiot like that. There was no use considering parties unknown to me, so I decided to focus on trying to heal Asami's wound for the time being. She'd been the one to console me over pretty much everything as of late, so I figured I'll pay her back in kind. I wrapped my arms around her shoulder and pulled her closer to myself. I could smell her soothing fragrance mixing in with the scent of alcohol. I feel the two of us are on the exact same wavelength, and no one else makes me feel as secure and relaxed as you do. So, I'm sure you'll eventually meet a person who'll understand your true value. Although I had mixed feelings about that person being some random schmuck.
けどそれっておさむの主観でしかないわよね。
And what's wrong with
お
that?
さむの価値観で私が最高だからって、それが他の男の人に通用するのかしら。
I wish they did, but I also kinda didn't.
そもそもあなた、どうして私が振られたか分かってるの？
Yeah, why were you turned down? Could it have been my fault? No, wait. Was it because the two of us spent almost an entire month living in the same room after I broke my leg? We were neither stranger nor family. No, we were a man and a woman who was once who once used to be a husband and wife. Anything could have happened, not to mention she even helped me take baths. Or did the events of the 24th possess power enough to sweep even that away? Asami,
私にもわからないけどね。何しろ断られた瞬間に席を立っちゃったから。
Stop shortening my lifespan with those meaningful pauses. Lorem is por dolor? What? Sit a me. What the fuck am I reading? What is it? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try to read. Lorem is por dolor sit a me. Disability said the you small temporada insuriente un labora en dolor magna alica. Whatever that means.
どこかにお金と地位があって容姿端麗で女の過去を気にしない心の広さと浮気しない誠実さと力強く引っ張ってくれる会社を兼ね備えた男がいないかな。
For the first time in my life, I'd have a sudden urge to kill if someone like that really existed.
なんてね。本当はお金も地位も顔もいらないから。いつまでも二人きりでいて。
I was guiding the still staggering Asami back to her new apartment. The silence continued for a while, as neither of us had anything to say. Before long, however, Asami spoke up and nearly gave me a heart attack.
だから年末の統一模試の結果、もう出てたのよ。冬休み明けには発表だって言ってたでしょ。
The music suddenly shifted, and it's a new one too. I've never heard this one. Wait a second, Asami, you just told me you haven't checked them.
あれは嘘。この時期に3年の担任がそんなのんびりしてるわけないわよ。
You lied?
5教科で280点、学年総合202位、クラスでは25位、国語はなんとか80点、私の数学は16点。
What?
第一志望の修選大夫が合格率 20% の D 判定。もちろん一般入試での話だから特待合格の可能性なんて。
That also's a lie, right?
試験の業者が採点ミスしたか、彼女が名前でも書き忘れたか、それとも回答欄を一つずつ間違えたか。
I'm sure it's the company's fault. Toko would never make such a basic mistake.
そうね、本人もそう言ってた。その上でこの特典に納得もしてたけど。
No way. How much of this could have been true? That beer must have gotten to me. I felt a headache coming on, paired up with some nausea. As that particular mood of elation and secure was, oh my, why can't I read? And that particular mood of elation and security began to wane. I found myself having trouble breathing.
大丈夫。彼女にも言ったけど、この結果は特待試験には影響しないわ。だって本番はもう来週なんだもの。
That was right. Toko would face one of the biggest challenges of her life next week. Why? Himeo and I, and Toko herself, of course, we all did our best to prepare for the big day. So what on earth happened?
別に準備不足とかそういうことはないと思う。ただのスランプよ。何かきっかけがあればすぐに元通りに。
Impetus? Huh? I suppose I pissed her off more times than I could keep track of up until now. But her grades, which were in a steady decline ever since Miss Honoka's disappearance, began to improve when I came here. I wasn't expecting her grades to keep rising with basically no limit, like a graph detailing a period of high economic growth. But there was no way bubble economics could apply to something like this. It didn't make sense. Asami, what should I do? Is there anything I can do to make her snap out of it?
それを私に聞くの。
Despite the fact I was embracing her moments before, indulging myself in her kindness, I was now treating her terribly. I knew that, but... I mean, You're her homeroom teacher, right? It should be part of your job to hear her out, at least. I felt misdirected anger broil within me, aimed at the very person who gave me the prior sense of security. It might have come off as extremely unfair towards Asami, but there was one thing I couldn't possibly back down from.
保護者にだって彼女をケアする義務はあるでしょ。
Asami's word took on a accusatory tone as well.
プライベートな問題なんだから、本当ならあなたこそが何とかすべきなのよ。
Her private life? Is it really a problem I can help with?
ちょっと違う。あなたにしかできない。
It didn't seem like she was merely abandoning her responsibility as a teacher. Her face reflected only frustrated resignation. She genuinely believed herself to be powerless in solving this issue. What should I do? What should I do, Asami?
ごめん、おさむ。そろそろ私に逃げるのはやめて。
No, I got a cough. My forehead broke out in a cold sweat as I felt myself overcome by an inexplicable sensation of guilt.
そうじゃないわね。あなたが私に逃げ続ける限り、彼女の悩みは解決しないの。
I don't get it. How are the two of us related to this issue at all? Even as the wind-tried breeze chilled my skin, my voice continued to tremble while fat beads of sweat rolled down my forehead.
みとこちゃんに直接聞いてみなさいよ。
Asami regarded me with pity in her eyes, yet it didn't seem like she planned to change her suddenly cold and distant attitude.
今ならちゃんと彼女を教えてくれる。自分が何に悩んでてどうすれば解決できるのか。
Asami's words urged me to go, yet her eyes looked as though they were pleading for me to stay.
あなたが想像もしていなかった。いいえ。無理やり思いつかないようにしてた答えを。
Something Osamu has been ignoring. ... But, you know, I think it's a good stopping point for today's video. I want to progress a little bit more further, but I know this is gonna take like another hour to get to a really good stopping point. But yeah, and also I don't know why my speech is starting to splur up, so I'm gonna call it quits here. But I also want to apologize for not uploading for 2 weeks on anything for the most forbidden love in the world and Rondo Leaflet. I won't lie to you guys. I was playing Lego Batman and was playing Danganronpa, I believe that's what it's called. But yeah, I was just busy playing those 2 games. I'm sorry. I should have uploaded at least. I should have set aside some time to record 2 videos or 3, but it is what it is. But yeah, if you liked today's video, don't forget to drop a like. If you have any comments or suggestions, comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to be on the lookout for the next The Most Forbidden Love in the World video, the next Rondo Leaflet video, and the next Amagami video. But as always, everyone, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Get back over here, Flash. I'm gonna make you paraplegic. Get back. I made a promise to you, Floss. I'm gonna make you paraplegic.
Falcone want with this shipment?
Answer me, Floss!